Hi, my darlings. Okay, this is going to be not a reading, but a video talking about how I got into doing readings, how I got into doing this YouTube channel, another YouTube channel I have, and why I'm going to stop doing YouTube stuff. Of course, I'm not stopping my personal readings, and I also have added development stuff to my Etsy rather than doing the group development, just because it's easier for me. I don't like organizing group stuff or learning Zoom, and I think I can be more responsible in working with you guys and more thorough one-on-one. So there's one-on-one scrying lessons, one-on-one tarot lessons, and one-on-one general spiritual development, which is like you guys can ask me stuff kind of thing. This is a long story, but for anyone who's interested in why I'm leaving or anything about my artwork, who knows me as an artist or who is a regular client of mine, which is basically my collective is my regular clients, my subscribers here, you may find it interesting. Also, anyone who's on the twin flame journey or has a deep soul connection, or really anyone who's having a spiritual awakening, which is what those connections are about. And I'm using like my phone because all my technology's gone a bit bonkers. Maybe YouTube doesn't want me to leave, but I know it's the right time for me to leave. The final straw was seeing a pick a card reading for whether or not someone was alive or dead, which I just think is not entertainment, which is what legally the readings on YouTube are meant to be, entertainment only, and legally you're not meant to read for people on health or legal stuff. And an untrained, like someone who is not a medium or a psychic, just doing card readings on whether or not someone is alive or dead during the time we're in right now, to me is like distasteful. I don't think these readers mean to do this. I think they get into it for the right intentions, and then they get certain amounts of views and they want to get more views, or they listen to their suggestions of their audience without kind of maybe thinking, is this the right thing, even if someone's asking for it? How can that reading actually benefit the majority of people who look at it? Even if some people who look at it, it resonates, that's just the law of probability. But like, you don't know, you can't screen who's watching that. So therefore you shouldn't get into such deep things, especially if you're not a trained medium. As you guys know, I have natural medium abilities, but I've always said in personal readings when it starts coming through and I know I'm being accurate, I won't go there, let alone a public reading for unknown audiences. It's just, you know, with a personal reading, you can tell if someone's addicted and they're doing too many readings, and then you won't read for them. And I've done that, and I've really helped those people, and they've left me really good reviews saying that I wouldn't read for them, and or when I read for them, I just basically told them to stop getting readings. And you know, you can't, it's irresponsible, and it doesn't sit well with me. And also manifestation, it's like, and I speak about this a lot, what you're putting your attention into, you're going to manifest. So if you're watching endless readings about third parties or any low vibration stuff, and the titles on some of these readings get crazier and crazier, I think to just grab attention, and it's just, it's not to do with raising the vibration. And I honestly think like the twin flame thing can also become a cult. And if people know my artwork, I've done a lot of research into cults. It's cultish in its thinking, and it also is a distraction to people's path. And I feel for me, like the minute I stopped like looking at all of those things is when I've come to have this like huge synchronicity recently with my twin flame that was to do with following my intuition. And that's what I want people to do, not let these readers dictate through these general readings. It's different. A personal reading is just different. It is just different. Like, this person's audience were arguing with me that they've had more accurate readings on her general readings than via personal readings with other readers, but like that's because they've watched so many readings that some of it resonates, whereas if you pay for a reading, you are much more aware of what resonates or not because you've paid for it and you're not getting endless readings. And for the amount of people that it might have resonated for, how many people are watching that and like manifesting something they don't want, or not able to watch it, but not able to make that decision even if someone has a disclaimer. It's not legal even. It's just, no. So that was the final straw for why I want to leave. But in general, I also feel like I came to find these readings because I was doing research as an artist, and then they really helped me on my twin flame journey for a little while, because they gave me a label for something that I couldn't understand or express, but then that label actually wasn't very helpful. And my life purpose is to empower people, and my main job is an artist, so I don't do all the reading stuff for money, although, you know, I am good at it, and I'm running a successful business doing it. And what people don't realize is also they think that these free readings on YouTube, people are doing them out of the goodness of their own heart, but like, the people who have thousands of subscribers are getting paid. And these readings do act as adverts. Even my readings where I'm doing like dark mirror scrying or yin and yang scrying, I'm saying, look, this is a type of reading I can do if you guys enjoy it. So it's kind of a way of showing how you read, your reading style, so people can decide, oh yeah, I'd like to do a reading with this person, which is fine. But people seem to think that the people doing it are just like saintly people who are just there to help them, and some of them are, but a lot of them, even if they are, may also be lost. Readers are people too, you know what I mean? You can see the change in my channel from when I began to now. And I'm going to put a link below to an earlier channel I made, which was a pastiche channel, which was an art project where I was really deconstructing how constructed the pick a card genre is by doing very spoofy readings, like the Hermit within a cave, the High Priestess within my Gypsy Caravan, the Death card within a graveyard, using the deck that I made. My clients will know I made a deck in collaboration with my father. Did I also tell you we've got my father's necklaces again in my Etsy? We make like 4 a year. Each link of the chain, he says a prayer. He's also psychic and a psychoanalyst and a psychiatrist. And we make them just for basically the cost of making them and a little bit extra for his time. But they're really good value, but they're also very beautiful and they're very high energy, and I do spell work on them and send you a video of that as well. So there are 4 of those on my Etsy at the moment, and I've added all this individual development for you guys if you want, for the people who asked me to do that. Okay, so I want to talk about my whole journey because I think it's interesting. So I have always been psychic. I had a near-death experience when I was a toddler where I went blue and stopped breathing, and then I became very dyslexic and dyspraxic after that, and probably have a bit of temporal lobe damage in my brain, but a very high IQ, so it's fine. But it's interesting because when they scan people's brains for psychic phenomenon, the temporal lobe kind of shuts off. I heard that in some research into it. So I think that is part of why, you know, I have this psychic thing going on. But also I heard angels singing at that time. I heard this, it wasn't really music. I can't really describe it, but it was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And like even thinking of it will make me want to cry. And my father, being a psychiatrist, obviously checked me out to make sure I wasn't schizophrenic or anything. But because my mother's mother was into autosuggestion and went to spiritualists, and my father is also psychic, and his family had like ancient Byzantine Aramaic texts, and my mother's uncle runs ghost tours and wrote books about hauntings in Bermuda, and my mother's got part Native American. It's in our family, so it wasn't weird. We always had haunted houses. Me and my sister were best friends with a ghost, but still they checked me out, you know. Anyway, I'm totally fine. But I've always been psychic. I saved my father's life once because for some unknown reason the alarm went off in the house even though he hadn't set it, after I saw a figure walk past, and then we called an ambulance because we couldn't get him to wake up because his door was locked and he'd like had a stroke. But the thing is, I saw this figure walk past and then the alarm went off, and I think it was like spirit alerting us basically, because if not he would have just died. That was my first sort of psychic thing. Another thing, this was my first sort of like past life experience or psychic experience to do with my twin flame, was when I was in quite a like emotionally abusive relationship with someone else when I was like really quite a young teenager, and I got in a minicab and I just heard this voice being like, there's someone else out there for you, you're protected. And I felt this euphoric rush like I'd had in my near-death experience. And then I had that same feeling again a few years later after I gave an art talk in Cornwall. I live in London, so I was in this place in Cornwall or Devon, and I got on a random boat and ended up in a random island, and I was heartbroken about someone else at that time. And when I was on the boat, I felt so much peace, and I didn't know where I was going. And then I got off and got on this island, and again I felt this euphoria on the island, like the best feeling ever, like how the 10 of Cups would feel, you know. And I took loads of photos in the island. And then years later, after meeting my twin flame, and we both were like, have we met before? And then there's this separation and all the stuff they say, you know, and lots of synchronicities. But I was at his house and he said something about Cornwall, and I just knew. I was like, what's the name of the place? And the name of the place didn't mean anything to me, but I had the photos saved. And I was like, is this the place? And I had photos of the house he stays in every year. He goes there on holiday. He also lives in London, so it's super weird. It's not like a 11:11 on the clock, as I said that. Anyway, that was another weird experience, awakening, I guess, going to that island. I think of it all the time. And then when I was 18, I was reading tarot, but I was really just a card reader. I did a lot of other stuff like burlesque and performance, and then I became an artist. And then when I was doing my artwork, which is all about faith and belief, and also I research a lot of cults, and like I'm interested in alternative societies and psychedelics, and I do a lot of research where I go into the community and research it. So I was researching the online tarot community because I found it like super bizarre and like obviously so constructed, yet people could still find meaning in it because that's apathenia, but also I guess if it resonates, you know it already. That's not to say though that it's not really fucking dangerous. And so then I made this pastiche channel as an artist where I was highlighting how how fake it was, but people still found meaning in it. And then big tarot readers started copying my content, so it became like this Ouroboros where I was researching them and they were copying me, and it was very interesting. But then I was doing another project, which has had a lot of press recently, where I was having psychic readings done about myself for a year, and I didn't tell them anything, and I found some readers who are very, very good readers, and some of them are on YouTube, but not surprisingly, they're the ones who stopped doing their YouTube channels mainly. But anyway, I found a lot of them on Etsy as well. And then they all started saying in my readings, oh, do you know that was all about my twin flame. And so I made a project called Take What Resonates, which is the soundscape of all of those readings over a few years that came true. So again, it's like this selecting what resonates or not, right? But all of them in those readings were saying you're psychic and you can make lots of money and you should have a business doing readings. And they were saying, some of them were on Etsy, they were saying you should do it on Etsy. And that's why I started my Etsy store in 2020, because I was following their advice. But it's not because I was just following their advice. Obviously, I know that I'm psychic, and I did it for that reason. You know, my father taught me to astral travel when I was a teenager. I take this stuff so seriously, and that's why I'm so angry when I see stuff that I just know is not right, and I should just not follow that person. But that's why I just don't want to see any of it anymore. It's gone too far. The twin flame thing has been totally made into something it's not. It's disempowering people. It's stopping unions because people are getting caught up in all this energy that belongs to other people that don't even know the answers themselves because they're not there yet. And like, that's not saying I am either, but like, you must empower people with your readings, not keep them trapped. It worries me. Anyway, you can watch my spoof readings below on my other channel. They're interesting videos, they're interesting artworks, but I am very serious about what I do. Anyway, I started doing my readings on Etsy, and I became quickly one of the best readers on Etsy. I have like really good reviews, and I really care about my clients, and I take it very, very seriously. And my main objective is to empower people and help them manifest. Not everything is set out in life. Some things are set in stone, but some things you can find an easier path through, and that's what I want to help people do. And that's why I give the readings, which are like roadmaps to help you navigate your journey, right? I don't want to keep people stuck, and I don't do it for money. although obviously I do make money, but that's not my motivation. I have another career and I also have a comfortable life, and like I'm not interested in making money out of people's misery or thinking that like whether or not someone is alive or dead is entertainment. Who is that entertaining to? Who is that helping? If you want to help someone, train in mediumship and do a one-on-one thing to help someone. No one's going to get the answer they need about someone who's dead from a general reading. Like, you just won't get the kind of proof you need. You guys know when I do a reading for you as a personal reading, but even in my general ones, but in my personal ones especially, the cards fly out and multiple cards from multiple decks of the same card fly out, and usually I've done a little channeled intro where I say, I think the death card will come out, and then the next second it flies out. That happened in the reading yesterday, so that person knows what I mean. Like, it's spirit is real and it wants to give proof, and people need to elevate their vibration, and we need to take what we're doing seriously, and that's why I'm leaving YouTube, because I don't want to be part of it. But I'm going to keep all my videos here. There's a lot of useful information about manifestation. As I've always said, be careful how you're consuming even my videos, but in general other videos as well. What else? Did I say that I had this crazy vision 2 years ago about my twin flame? And I told him about it, and I made work about it, and I wrote a text about it for a public thing, because it haunted me. And then on Wednesday, because I followed my own intuition and my own signs, I ended up in front of him, and this vision played out in front of us. That's just so crazy. And it really, that was another thing where I was like, wow, I have the answers within me. Because I always think, oh, I need another reader to read for me. No, we have the answers within us. And if I can just help people find, of course, sometimes you can go to a reader because you need someone to be objective. And I think I'm getting more and more into wanting to help you guys develop your own intuition. But I am good at readings, and I'm happy to do personal readings, but I don't want to see this stuff on YouTube that I feel is lowering my vibration. And I feel the only reason I saw it was spirit trying to show me to get off. Because I've been thinking this for a while, and I've been saying for, almost since the beginning that I find it quite disempowering, and I want to empower people. So that's why I'm leaving YouTube. I will put a link to my other channel, which you guys will probably find entertaining, hopefully. You guys know me, if you guys know me as an artist, you can, I'm not going anywhere. And also, if you guys are clients, which pretty much everyone is on this channel who subscribes to me, you can get personal readings still. And I also have given a lot of tips about manifestation and things that are useful here. And because our collective was so small, I truly believe the energies are in the readings in a way that probably aren't for these other readers that have like thousands of people. But maybe that's not the case. But anyway, I just don't want to see readings like that, and I think it's bad for my vibration and my union and my soul purpose to be enmeshed in that, and I'm gonna go my own way, and I encourage you guys to do the same. As always, you know best. It's your journey. Is there anything else I need to say? I think that's everything. Sending you guys so much love, light, and positivity. And I did put under one of my earlier videos, I can't remember which one, a list of things that I found personally very empowering on YouTube. Like, different lectures from people, healing hurts, and different manifestation, like the original manifestation stuff. And, so I've somewhere left a lot of breadcrumbs of things that just personally were interesting for me. So, just always remember with anyone that this is their opinion. But please, please, please don't consume readings that disempower you. I feel like most of you wouldn't, but even I can get sucked into it a little bit, and it's not healthy. So I'm going to send you guys all so much love, light, and positivity, and you know where to find me for personal readings. And I'll keep this channel up, but I won't be back on doing another public reading until maybe if I become in union. That could be fun. But apart from that, and even if that happens, maybe not. But I think, yeah, let's keep it like that. All right, much love, light and positivity, guys. Take care.